You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Bold and the Beautiful fans. This is Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I want to talk about two people that are going to have wildly different reactions to this new Thomas and Hope romance. Those two people are Brooke Logan and little, adorable Douglas Forrester. They are going to have different reactions to this. They are going to be night and day apart because we seem to be on the fast track by the end of this week to Thomas and Hope becoming an official couple. They are still talking things through on Monday, the 10th, and then by Tuesday, the 11th, they are hitting the sheets. And then Hope is having this sort of epiphany about what she wants. And then Thursday, Brooke walks in on them doing the deed. Yep, she walks right into Thomas's house, right into his bedroom. I'm sure she's going to claim it was exigent circumstances, like how the police can enter your house without a warrant if they think someone is dead or dying. They hear screams, things like that. So Brooke may see Hope's car outside and may think, oh, Thomas has kidnapped her. He's done something, and she drove there to her kidnapping. I don't know. But you know how Brooke is. She's very emotional, sometimes irrational when it comes to him. But the bottom line is Brooke and her adopted grandson, Douglas, are not going to see eye to eye on this new romance. And I want to talk about a little compare and contrast of Douglas versus Brooke's reaction to this Thope romance. That's Thomas and Hope Thope. All right. If you haven't already, please reach down and click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our Bold and the Beautiful updates, news, and more. And now let's dig in. So Brooke walks in on them on Thursday, July 13th. And after that, just before that, Hope asks Thomas to keep this thing between them. She wants a little bit of time because it's not a good look for her to have wait 3 minutes before Liam said, I want a divorce, and she told Thomas she wants him and then hops on his naked body. So when Brooke walks into the house, she is going to catch them, and that is the start of what is going to change everything. The news is going to spread fast and far because it's going to spread all around Forrester Creations, and that means that Douglas is going to find out. Everybody's going to find out. So the first reaction I think we're going to see is Brooke raging and Douglas cheering. Douglas loves anytime his parents are together. He will do a little group hug between Thomas and Hope. He loves to see them at work together. He likes to try and plan outings for them together. He is full on parent trapping them every chance he gets, even though he does seem to have some affection for Liam. But the bottom line is Brooke is going to be absolutely furious. And her reaction is going to be, nuclear, while Douglas's reaction is going to be sheer and total joy. And he may not understand it if he sees his grandma Brooke acting like a total raging mental case about his parents getting back together. So our number two thing we want to talk about is I think Douglas is gonna want a wedding and Brooke is gonna want a funeral. So Douglas is gonna want his parents to get married. Once he knows that Hope's not married to Liam anymore, he does know that his dad Thomas did some bad stuff, but he sees the change in his dad. Brooke does not. And I can see Douglas cheering for them to get married and for him to basically have his family together in a way that has never happened before. And it couldn't happen before because Thomas was gaslighting Hope and he was, manipulating her and everything. But he stopped, he got therapy, he got better. And now it really could happen that they could get married, and Douglas would want that. Meanwhile, Brooke would rather be attending a funeral for Thomas Forrester than a wedding for her daughter to Thomas. I mean, I'm just not even sure what Brooke might do. Is she going to have remember way back in history, she did have a mental breakdown and she ran away to an island, another country for a hot second. Maybe she's going to have a complete and total mental breakdown and just try and run over Thomas. At the very minimum, I think she's going to poop all over Douglas's dreams of his parents finally being together and getting married. There is no way she will tolerate that. I also think that Douglas Forrester is going to encourage them to have a baby. And if she hears this, Brooke might actually considering cornering Thomas and castrating him, because that would be the physical embodiment of her worst nightmare. For her, it's bad enough that Hope adopted Thomas's biological child, but the idea that Hope would carry Thomas's baby in her belly would absolutely infuriate Brooke Logan. You know, she likes Douglas, but she can only put up with so much because of her deep-seated hatred for her former stepson. And I just think Douglas would be all there for it. He loves baby Beth. He considers baby Beth his sister. He loves spending time with Kelly and all that. He's accepted her as like a stepsister. But a biological sibling of his own, heck yeah, Douglas would be down for that. And that's just one more way that Douglas and Brooke are going to be at odds over this relationship. I also think Douglas is okay with Liam leaving the house, but Brooke is not at all. So even though Liam is totally disgusted by Hope and Thomas and just disgusted by Hope in general right now, and he will be more so after the reveal that they slept together, I definitely know that Liam does not want Thomas and Hope to get a happily ever after. He does not want any kind of happy ending for them. And if he's got to, hurt Hope emotionally to make it happen, I think he will. I think Douglas is going to say, bye, Daddy Liam, miss you. But Brooke is not going to let Liam walk away from her daughter that easily. I think she is going to scheme with Liam to get Thomas away from Hope and thinking that eventually Hope will reunite with Liam if Thomas isn't in the way. However, Douglas is almost a detective. He is so good at sniffing out schemes. And if Brooke is scheming with Liam, Douglas might sniff it out and rat her out. One more way they would be at odds. We have one more thing to talk about with Douglas and Brooke, but if you haven't, please click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our B&B updates, spoilers, and more. Click a like if you're enjoying this video. So, do you remember back when Liam was basically using Douglas? Liam was wanting to, it's been maybe a year ago, maybe a little longer, I think at least a year ago, where Liam was constantly wanting to check up on Hope and Thomas at work. This was before Thomas messed up the wedding. This was before the CPS call. It was way before that. So Liam was basically saying things like, maybe we should go check on them, this and that, Liam was trying to use bringing Douglas up to see them as an excuse for Liam to show up at Forrester Creations to kind of low-key spy on them. But what was funny was once they got there, Douglas used that moment to try and push his parents together again. Douglas sniffed out what Liam was doing, and he basically pretended to go along with it and was just essentially using Liam as kind of his Uber driver to get up there to work, to spend time pushing his parents together. So I don't think Brooke necessarily realizes just how clever that kid is and how much of a manipulator he can be. He's ethical. He is using his powers for good. So I do think that Douglas has some of Thomas's sneaky impulses, and I think if he wanted to be a bad kid, he could be, and he could definitely scheme, but I think he's a good kid, and I do think he really, really wants his parents together, and he doesn't care if Liam is collateral damage. I think he's going to be too overjoyed, and I think we might hit a breaking point soon where if Douglas sees the absolute worst in Brooke in how she reacts about Thomas and Hope, and we know she's going to have a really, really nasty reaction, I think it's going to gobsmack Ridge because he has no idea how much Brooke still hates his son, and I think it's going to hit Douglas hard because I'm sure Brooke has hidden the animosity from him, but it's all about to come out.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.